So hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, I know, but as I've always maintained, I'm not trying to be an auto journalist. I'm just trying to share my story of owning a Porsche Taycan, for over a year now. Actually coming up to a year. August will be a year that I've owned the car, and I have to say, making the move from a, shall we say, a diesel Jag F-Pace to a Porsche Taycan EV has been huge. I won't lie. It's been a huge change, but boy has it been good. You'll hear on the media, lots of negatives about EVs and charging network and range anxiety, and I'm not going to say that those things don't exist, because I know people out there have experienced them, but I think for me personally, the experience of owning an EV and changing from combustible to an electric vehicle, charging at home, etc., and travelling around the country, it's changed my motoring experience so much for the positive. I can barely find the words to explain. We've had no issues with the charging network. We've found the charging network to be absolutely fantastic. There have been in the south, shall we say, occasions where we have had to wait, and we've had to queue up and wait our turn to get to a charger, because it's a very popular station, and that has happened once or twice. But quite frankly, depending on your driving attitude, if you're rushing to get everywhere, then you're always going to have a degree of stress, no matter what you're driving, whether it's a petrol vehicle that you can fill up in 5 minutes, or whether it's an EV that you've got to plug in and wait half an hour or 20 minutes. You are always going to have that issue. Me personally, my attitude to driving is more, shall we say, of a leisurely nature. Yes, I like to drive, but I'm never in a blind rage to get in and out as quickly as possible. I do like to take a break, and on occasion, if I'm brutally honest, I've pulled into a station, managed to get straight onto a charging station, I plugged in, and by the time I've actually got into the service station, queued for a coffee or a bite to eat, and sat down to start eating it, I then looked at my app and then realised I've got literally 10 minutes to drink and eat and then get back out into the car. So it definitely has been a positive experience for me. As far as range anxiety goes, I've always found this one an interesting one, because I actually found that I had more anxiety driving a diesel Jag, trying to eke out every single mile, because that particular vehicle just did not live up to expectation, and from where I live to London and back, it would easily cost 150 quid in diesel, and we don't live that far from London. The car simply drank diesel, so I was forever feathering the throttle, and never really enjoying the vehicle to its full extent, because I was always trying to eke out the last drop of diesel before I had to bloody fill the thing back up again. So I personally found I had more anxiety driving that particular car, and I'm not saying that every car that runs on carbon fuel is the same. I'm not going to say that, and I'm not going to try and sway you out there either way. I'm just telling you from my experience. The EV experience has been just great. Pulling up outside the house, plugging it in, 50%, and then in the morning back up to 85, 95, 90%. I generally charge to 85%. and that would have cost me 3-4 quid. And I don't have to do that very often. Again, because of the mileage that I do commuting to work, visiting clients locally, I don't have to do hundreds of miles a day. And if you're that type of person and you're wanting that from a vehicle, then actually perhaps an EV isn't for you. And I'm not saying it suits every single motorist out there either. So please don't get me wrong. I'm not an EV fanboy. I'm just saying that if you are on the verge of considering buying an EV, and obviously do your research and make sure that the mileage that you're expecting to do per day, per week, per month, fits in with the capability of the car, like you would any car. If you're going to go out and buy a car that is your dream car, but it only does 10 miles to the gallon. It's the same with an EV. It's just a different variable. You still have to look at that car and go, well, look, is that going to suit my lifestyle? Am I going to live in the forecourt, or am I going to be able to enjoy the car and get from A to B without having to stop every 5 minutes to fill it up? So it's the same thing. I would say if you are considering buying an EV, just don't be put off by all the negative press that you hear about them, because frankly I haven't experienced any of it, and I could be one of millions that the lucky one. I doubt it, but honestly the charging network is getting even better than it was a year ago, and it just works. It just works, and it's great, and the cars are getting better, and I'm not going to go into how quick they are, because you can see a million videos on YouTube about how quick the Taycan is, from the base model all the way up. They're stunning vehicles, and there are more EVs out there that are within their price range, absolutely fun and brilliant to drive, and economical. They are economical. You don't have to go out and buy a Porsche Taycan. You can find other variants. And my uncle, for instance, lives in Birmingham. He's already converted over from my advice, and he absolutely loves it. This is a man that's coming from an AMG Mercedes SL63, I think he's got, and another Mercedes as well. So he's a proper petrol head, and he never ever thought he'd ever move to electric, and he's got one now, and he absolutely loves it because it suits his lifestyle. So all I can say is, if you're considering it, go give it some proper research, block out all the negative press, do your real due diligence. Is it what you need as far as mileage goes? Is the car, the build quality satisfactory, the brand you're looking at, and absolutely go for it. Don't get caught up in the EV bashing, because it's great, and hopefully this advice has helped some of you out there, and because I'm a total convert and I can't see myself going back. I really can't. Yes, I am spoiled. I've got quite an exceptional EV. I after my children, it's very close up there. I love it as much as I love my kids, and it's just an awesome experience. Every day I get in it, I absolutely love driving it, and yeah, can't wait to get back in it. It's just the best. So anyway, hope that's helped some people out there, if you're borderline, and yeah, I'll make a new video soon about more experiences that I've had with the EV. But for now, take care, subscribe, like, whatever. If you don't, but if you do, great. And obviously give me some feedback in the comments. I'd love to hear whatever your views are with regards to anything that I've mentioned. Okay, take care guys, bye.